Good evening, everyone. This is Anupam Agrawal. I am the chair of India Internet Foundation, and India Internet Foundation is the organization which is running this Advanced Internet Operations Research in India initiative. As part of this initiative, we have been doing annual capacity development programs. We started in 2024, then we moved on to 2025, and then now we are in the third year, which is 2026. In this third year, we are changing the format a little bit to explore ourselves. So this time, we requested expression of interest from multiple institutions across the country to host AIORI workshop to be led by the local faculties, to which we received an overwhelming response of more than 140 applications. So now to train all the faculties who had shown interest, we had to do this faculty development program. A lot of you attended the first uh, session of this FDP program, which happened on 15th of July last week, and it was repeated on 17th of July. Thank you for attending that. And now, in this week, it is the um, second session, and herein we will continue with our thoughts on internet measurements. We will be doing a lot of practical things, and also the team will explain to you quite a lot about what they intend to do when you are actually conducting the workshop. So, with this background, I welcome you all for today's meeting. Uh, it is going to be around 90 minutes. The session will be for around 70-75 minutes. We will have a lot of time for questions and answers. So please feel free to ask. Myself, Anand, and the entire team of India Internet Foundation is on the call to answer as many questions as possible. And once you are done with this, the session will also be repeated on Friday at the same time. Just to let you know that Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has expressed their appreciation for this program for two reasons. One, that a lot of you are participating, so they will come and will give a opening statement on Friday. So if you are available on Friday, I will request you to join once again on Friday to hear what the government of India is talking about this particular subject. And above all, the second session will also, and the second reason why they are also appreciating this entire effort along with all of you is because this program has done a collaboration with ISEA, which is also a flagship capacity development program of the Government of India, Ministry of Electronics and IT. So, with nothing much to add from my side at this point in time. I will request Anand, who is the CTO of AIORI and also the co-founder of IIFON, to uh, say a few words about why this particular session is happening, what are his thoughts on uh, how it will progress, and what should be the key takeaways for all the participants, and then we will enter into the actual workshop. So over to you, Anand.
Yeah, thank you, Anupam. Thank you for setting the context and welcome everyone. As Anupam told that few of you, even most of you, have joined the first session that was there on 15th and 17th of this month, and we have covered lots of ground over there in terms of understanding of the internet way of networking, the architectural component where it can break and how it is getting evolved, and where measurements are one of the key uh, things to actually work upon whenever we are trying to evolve internet for the next generation. Now, as I also said in one of my talks, that this is something initiative which is kind of built upon a research project, which is something a measurement network, and there are other components attached to it. A portal which you can use, And this initiatives that we are doing from last 2 years is something getting an outreach of this particular platform, so that the academic people, the researchers should start using this for their own researches, for their courses, and also trying to get it as a reference architecture for many of the course curriculums like computer networks, cloud computing, distributed computing, uh, CI/CD pipelines, lots of things, data analytics. So today's session will be more dwelling upon the users of this portal. First of all, what we have kind of built. You will see that there are two components of this particular architecture. One is the server-side component. We call it the Anycast network, which is something the same IP address and AS number, which is getting announced from different locations in India, around 10 right now, and they are hosted in different academic institutions like IIT Guwahati, IIS, Bengaluru, Chandigarh University, and other academic institutions. There we have servers which host DNS in a box and other artifacts which are being used for measurement and other research purposes. We have anchors which are there at the end user locations, which are Raspberry Pi single board computers, which are used to do active measurements on internet. Why they are at the user end? Because we wanted to have an understanding of what is the quality and different performance, resiliency, and security aspects at the user level. So these two endpoints give us more flexibility in order to measure the protocol parameters and to understand what is happening underneath, which is also helping us providing much more detailed information about what are the problem statements and try to troubleshoot those problem statements. Our team member Andre over here, she will be walking you through the core design principles of what is behind the platform. I will be there throughout the session, and then she will walk you through the portal, how you can log in, how you can fire measurements, how you can work with your students so that they can also work and you can manage their measurements. The idea over here is to kind of make yourself comfortable whenever there is a workshop that will happen, which will be kind of managed and organized by you at your location. You will be comfortable enough to kind of understand what is happening. At the end, we will also circulate a book, a 400 pager, which is having all the detailed information which Andre will today showcase. Our other team members will also come along, and maybe whenever there is a need, they will jump in and they will try to kind of answer your questions. So with this, I will not take much of your time. I was just trying to give an overview of what is happening. I'm here. If there is any questions you have, you can even write on the chat box itself while the session is going on. I'll try to answer over there, and other team members also. And at the end of the session, we will definitely come back with your question answers so that if you have anything that you wanted to ask, please be ready with your questions. And in the middle of the session, if you have something to ask, just raise your hand, and then Andre and other team members will try to take your questions. With that, I will stop here, and over to you, Anupam.
Thank you, Anand. Now I'll request Andre to start the conversation on the presentation for today. Over to you, Andre.
Thank you, sir, for setting up the context. Okay, let me share the screen. As sir mentioned, today we will be talking about our portal, that is v2.aiori.in, on which we will be conducting some network measurements. Okay. So before that, I will be just giving you a short brief that how it started and today which things I will be covering. So basically, on this platform, the first thing is that why we measure, how we measure, and what can be achieved, and why it is important for us. Why measurement is important. So, what we are measuring actually, there are basically two types of measurement. That is, one is active and passive measurements. So, in this portal, we are doing the active measurement. Okay, so let me first tell you that what is the difference between active and passive measurement. As I mentioned, the passive one also. For active measurements, it is very much easy to troubleshoot and compare the network performance across locations. Whereas for the passive measurement, it basically provides the insights into actual application usage. Okay. So in active measurements, what we will be doing, we will be firing some commands like ping, press route, DNS query. So these are the tools for active measurements. Okay. And while passive measurement is a continuous monitoring process. So for with workshock or net flow, packets capture, that is how passive measurement works. So our portal v2.aiori.in is basically we are doing active measurements on it. So in the first part, I will be showcasing that how you can run or conduct the network measurements for this commands through our anchors that were deployed across India. In the second part of it, I will go through the faculty side of it and the student side of it that you will be needing for the workshop activities. Okay. Next, we will have one question answer round also for the last 15 minutes. So I will begin from the origin where it started. Uh, Internet Measurement Network IIFON is a paper that was presented on 4th International Conference on Computing and Communication in Northeastern Hill University, Shillong. Okay, so if you want to just go through the paper that was published, you can just go to the IEEE portal and there the paper is available. The entire paper is on the AIORI IMN network is available. So from there it all started. And these are the authors, Anand Rajesh sir, Anupam sir, and rest we have a lot many of our authors from our previous session and this session also Anand sir and Anupam sir already have set the context that how we are measuring and what is this project all about. So it's basically the anchor network, that is anchors, that is the Raspberry Pi or single board computers that are deployed across India, and we are measuring through it. So basically we are requesting the anchors to file data from there, and by which we are troubleshooting many problems. Like, and here comes why we are measuring. Okay. So basically so this is the anchor network that has been deployed in 100 plus locations across India. And if you can go to aiori.in, there also you can see a matrix of it, how many registered anchors are with us, the eastern, southern, northern regions. So this is the Raspberry Pi devices, uh, where a code, we have installed a code over there, and it is placed in hundred of locations, where through our portal that I will be showcasing today, we are requesting these anchors to run the measurements. Now coming to the AIORI IMN architecture, basically this is divided into three parts: analytics, controller, and the worker. So by which, on which the user goes and fires the commands asking the anchor to run the measurement. Now then controller acts like a bridge between the anchor and the portal. So there comes the controller into play, that it's responsible for the maintenance and the performance of the network. Then the worker we have, that is the anchors, who is controlling all the anchors that are placed in different locations. Now, what things we will be covering? We will be measuring ping, traceroute, DNS query. Now, by this, let me give you what can be achieved while measuring these things. First of all, what ping does, ping actually verifies a destination host is reachable or not. Suppose you are pinging google.com. Okay, you are getting a response time for that, and that is how we are just analyzing the network latency, that whether that website or that host is reachable or not. Okay, so it measures the round trip time and the packet loss. Next, we have traceroute. That is, if you run a traceroute for a website or for a host, then you can get the hops traversed by the packets. Okay, so here I would like to mention one thing. If you just run it from your computer, then you can only see the IP addresses or the hops, and you can get the latency for it. But in our portal, along with the IP address, you can also get the location, latitudes, and every details of it, exactly where the hops are located, and you can get the data from there. Okay. So Traceroute basically helps us to identify where the network delays or the failures occurs. Okay, so if with this evidences, we can or a routing detour happened. Next, we have DNS queries. Now, we can convert them into a corresponding IP address. And it also helps us to identify any DNS issues. Okay, so basically, it's help us for verifying DNS resolution and troubleshooting any name resolution issue. That is what we call as the DNS issues. So these are the things that we can take the data, we can analyze it. Based on the evidence, we can just based on this datas, we can approach to the ISPs, or we can find where is the root cause, where the delay is originating from, or where is the exact problem lies. So as I mentioned, These are the use cases, community-driven research. So in the AIORI portal, AIORI.in, Anycast nodes, as Anand sir mentioned, that there has been 10 nodes in the previous session also. I have mentioned our 10 nodes that we have, the servers that we have. Then we have been continuously monitoring the ISP behavior through different location, and we are regularly firing those endpoints and checking what is the IS particular, how that particular ISP is behaving for that particular region, or and at the end we are getting lots of data, uh, uh, region specific. Okay. Then our v2.aiori.in, we can use that the measurement tool to trouble should network issues, like we can fire this the three comments that I have mentioned: ping, traceroute, and DNS query, and we can measure the health of the website for a particular domain. We can do routing detours, as mentioned. With traceroute, we can identify if uh, there is a network congestion or a routing detour happened or not. Measuring services latency, that is the ping. Uh, we have been pinging the root server that was mentioned in the last session. The 13 root servers, we are continuously monitoring it by pinging it, and we are checking whether how it is, if there is a cable cut. Then we can figure out, okay, so like why the data is not coming, why, what we can identify at every point of time that where is the problem through with those data. So latency play important role over here. Then we have DNS resiliency from users endpoint. It helps us to, the measurement portal helps us to analyze the DNS resiliency from user endpoint in terms of availability and the latency. Now comes how v2.aiori.in works. Here is a workflow of it, that we request to the anchors via v2.aiori.in. Anchors respond, and here I would like to mention one thing, that when we send the request to the anchors, we do it by fire and forget method. Okay, the anchor takes some times to just to run the commands, then it backs the response to our database, and then the results we get is plotted in our graph, or the data are available. You can download it in CSV or JSON or any other format. So this is the any researcher or a user, basically for the academic purpose. We have also features in our portal. For a specific target website, we can, if we want to target, suppose irctc.co.in or google.com or sbi.co.in, we can monitor each website by pinging it, whether it's reachable, or when, suppose in the morning, when I'm just running a ping, I can see the much lower latency I'm getting than evening. Okay, so I can compare the results across targets and conditions. So now I will jump onto v2.aiori.in. Okay. So I will also be going through this AIORI handbook. because this is a hand we have made a comprehensive handbook how to use the platform. This will help you in our student workshop also. If you go through it first, you will find that the about the measurement, about internet that Arnav spoke on the last session. Then we have the AIORI Internet Measurement Network architecture, how internet works, and where we have started about in ID Internet Measurement Portal. Then registration and login, how people will come and register, login. Then we have the dashboard widgets, running measurements, ping, DNS query, trace route, academic feature, hosting and anchor, and exploring. Yeah, you are dotting these things we have. I'm going one by one to this. Okay, first let me jump on to the registration and login. First, user will come, and it's a very user-friendly website where we'll type b2.aiori.in, register with first name, last name, email, and mobile number. Email and mobile number, user need to verify it because when user will be login, they will need the OTP for login. So for that, we are verifying the email and the mobile number. Then, if the registration is successful, then there will be a welcome mail from aiori.in. Then, OTP based login. Just navigate to the login page. Log into AIORI's portal, and then this analytics dashboard will come up. This is the analytics dashboard, and you can see that here I have registered as faculty. So basically, why I have mentioned that I am registered as faculty, because there are three user roles. Okay, first one is user, student, and faculties. So for researcher and user, uh, the portal is only available for the anchor management section, domains, zones, and then that user can run the measurement. The services, these are the portions or these are the menus that are available for the user types. For faculty, we have extra features like profile, enroll students, assignments, and discussions. And for students, we have some more. So I will be navigating to the sections in the second half. First, let me show you the measurements. Now, coming on to the analytics page, you can see this is our anchor network. You
हेलो
can see the enabled ones. Yes.
गुड इवनिंग मैडम। मैं साकेत से बोल रहा हूँ राय यूनिवर्सिटी से। मैम मैंने यूजर
Yes.
में किया है तो फैकल्टी में कैसे कर सकते हैं उसको चेंज?
Yes, I will come into this.
ओके
So this is our analytics section where you can see the anchors which are currently online are enabled, and you can directly, if you just tap on it, you can directly go to the exact page where you want to run a DNS query or a ping or a trace route. We have a points counter. How it works basically, if you host an anchor, then and that is registered in your portal, and if somebody else is firing some measurement from your deployed anchor, then you will earn some points. And if you and if like if you use the other anchors for running the queries, then you will lose some points. This is how the pointer works. Okay. So here you can see there are basically 4 cards, that is the points, new query reports, your anchors and queries. Your anchors means if any anchors is registered under you, then this will come as 1. Otherwise, it will come as 0 if you are not hosting any anchors. Now, this is a anchor management section, anchor registration. Basically, when we provide for hosting, we provide the user who is hosting that anchor. He needs to scan the QR, upload it in our portal, entering the location, and thus the anchor is getting registered for that particular location. And if it is live, if it is online, then we can tell it as, and if it is reachable, okay, then we can tell it as it's a live anchor and it's an online one. It is ready to fire queries from that anchor. Okay.
Andre, I'll just
Now,
1 minute
for
to.
domains,
Hello, am I audible, Andre?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir, you are
I'll just
audible.
take 1 minute for the anchor registration. So I'm just interjecting over here. One thing which is very important to understand, this measurement network is for the community, by the community. Any one of you who is kind of want to contribute for this community initiative, all the anchors provide a better visualization of what is happening in your region for the stable and good performance oriented internet to be measured. And if there is any troubleshooting that we can do, we will request any one of you who is interested to host a network anchor in your network. We promote it so that you can just have one Raspberry Pi, and we can kind of install the required artifacts into that Raspberry Pi, and then it can become one of the anchors in our network. There are two ways to do this. Either we provide a Raspberry Pi to you, that's a process. Otherwise, if you have a Raspberry Pi unit, or maybe if you have a virtual machine with you, which can be accessible or kind of on 24 into 7, you can be part of the anchor network of this measurement platform. What you need to do is, first of all, just give us the virtual machine, and our team will install the required artifacts over there, and then automatically you will see that your anchor is listed in the network. Now, what happens is, whenever you get an anchor, anyone who fires command from your anchor, you get some points which can be utilized for your own research purposes, for your own measurement from other anchors as well. So in that way, you will get more points because you are kind of contributing to the community. And this is something best practices adopted by most of the measurement networks of the world, and we have kind of adopted the same, which is very much kind of handy for those who wish to measure from different networks perspective, from different anchors. Thank you. Over to you, Andrew.
Thank you, sir, for the addition. Yes, so if you plan to monitor a particular domain, suppose iPhone.org or Google.com or SBI.co.in, then you can add it from here and you can just monitor it. Okay. So now coming to the run measurement section, I will start with ping. Yeah. So here I will select, suppose I want that are available. So I will choose um, INV2 198. So ping query executed successfully. So from where I will get the results, I will navigate to this report section. Here you can see that ping with anchor INV2 198 is listed over here and it's in status running condition. Okay, so we'll give some time and let me check whether the results appeared or not. You can see that with anchor INV2 198, I have executed this ping command for that I have got max, average, and mean. There has been no packet loss, packet received 3, packet sent 3, ICMP protocol, and this is the graph for it. So if you like to just export the result, then export as JSON option is here. You find it. Yes. So the status is 1, data set is ready. This is the entire result which I've been getting for that particular. So let me see where this INV2 196 is hosted. I think it's in Bengaluru. Uh, uh, yeah, you can find it from here itself. Yeah, it's in Bengaluru. So basically, sitting remotely at Kolkata, and I can fire from Bengaluru how github.com is behaving. Okay, so I can measure github.com from here, sitting at Kolkata from Bengaluru. This is how our portal works, measurement network works. Okay. So now coming to zone. Here you can see that I have selected only one anchor to run this query, this ping query for github.com. Now I will do the same thing with zone. Now what is zone? Zone means that again I am just going to the zone section. When I'm asking multiple anchors, like I need some multiple data sets. Okay, so let me just from this West Bengal region or from select some anchor and create one zone. Okay. So Madurai, Coimbatore, Puducherry, IM36, Chennai. So I will create one zone and let me name it as South India, South India campus. Save. South India anchors. So with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With 5 anchors, I have created one zone. Now I will again go to this measurement section and I will suppose for github.com only I am just testing. Okay. So I will select zone from here and then I will select go for South India anchors. Now I will execute a command. Yeah, so I will check these are the anchors which I have used for running this github.com. I will check whether the results appeared or not. Yeah, already we have got the results from 4 anchors. On one of the anchors, we have not received the result. It may be due to network where the anchor is hosted. Maybe that particular anchor may take some time to give us the data. So there may be various conditions for it. So this is how we can see that from IN 38, IN 28, IN 31, IN 36, these are the latencies. We can see that the latency is quite high, where the max latency reached to 60.78. And this is how we can compare from various regions how a particular targeted website is behaving. Okay. Next, we have the same as the export JSON option. You can find the data over here. Okay. And utilize it for your research purpose. We can also just export this graph as PNG. Also, you can include this uh, snapshots in your project itself. Okay. Now we have periodic queries. For periodic queries, what is the thing? Basically, we suppose, as I mentioned, I want to monitor a website for a particular time interval. That is how periodic query works. So I'm setting a second time interval as seconds. Suppose interval time 30 seconds, time unit minute. So there are three options. You can also run it for hour or day. Let me give a time for your 10 seconds. Again, let me do it for irctc.co.in. Okay, so here also I can do it by a single anchor, or I can choose a zone from here. So first let me do with a single anchor. So with INV2 178, execute command. Again, from reports, I will navigate to time range query report. Yeah. So here you can see that the for
Andre,
yes, sir.
there are four questions in the chat. The first one is how we can add students in our portal login. So I think you will deal with that during this session, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just have patience. After this, Andre will deal with this and how can change user to faculty. I think that is a part of the session. And anchor which you will give is free of cost. Yes, we will give it free of cost, but the onus is that you need to run it 24/7. And the second thing is Raspberry Pi component is free of cost. Yes, it is free of cost. The only thing, the responsibility is that you will run at your location 24/7 for the users by you and as well as by the community. Thank you, Andre. Over to you.
So here you can find that the measurement for the periodic query that I have executed with INV2 178. Let me see the result for it. It will not come because the status is running. I have set for 30 seconds and for 10 minutes. So it will run, and once it is complete, the execution status will come as close. So for just I'm just showing you with some previous datas that we have. So this is with our Kolkata servers, and for github.com only I have executed this earlier. This is the latency, and this is the periodic graph that we have got, and this is the variation for the time latency variations that we got, and with the three anchors, because because I have created a zone earlier with three anchors, and this is how we got the latencies. This is the data, same as the others. We can yeah, so these are the data for INV2 227. This was the time, and this is the RTT average. Okay. So for all of the anchors that we have added for this particular zone, we will be getting the data for that. Yes, I in 26, these are the data, and this we are getting it. And by this, we are plotting the graph over there. Next, coming to the trace route. So for trace route, what trace route does, it traces the path taken by the packets from the anchor to a target website. Okay, so let me test it for IIFON.org with the anchor. Our INV2 208. I will execute a command. This route executed successfully. Reports. So the status is running. Yeah, still we have not got the results for this trace route. Let me wait for some time. By then, let me just show you some other trace routes. Yeah, so this is how it comes. Okay, so as I mentioned that if you run it from your PowerShell or terminal, then you can only see the IP addresses like the hops and the latency. You can find it over here. But if in our website, we are also linking up with the locations and the latitude and longitudes. Okay, so and here we are showing the paths for it. It started, we just zoom it, you can find it. It started from Howrah, not from Howrah, it's from Guwahati, sorry. My bad, INV2 124. Okay, so then it started from Guwahati and routed to Chennai, again on Chennai, and then Pune. Okay, by that time I will check whether the results for trace route come up or not. Yeah, this is the result for trace route that I have executed just now. IN with INV2208 Howrah. So it started from Howrah, then to Kolkata, uh, Kolkata, then Ashburn. Then it did had it has shown a routing detour to Ashburn. Okay. The same thing we can do with zones. So let me do it for google.com. Zone, South India anchors, execute command. It will take some time. Navigating to the report section. Okay, now one more thing that if the particular command is executed successfully and if you have some results for the student workshop also, you will need to make that query public. Here is the option for making this query public, and public means whoever is registering in this website or whoever the registered users are in this website, they can find all the public queries, because this queries here who comes, like the researcher work on this platform, right? So they can utilize this data for their research purpose. So like whoever, like I am running a query and some A, B, C, D is also registered on this platform. Then if I am making that query public for A, B, C, D users also, that query, they can access the particular query. Okay. So this is how it works. Now I will go back to the trace route. I will check. So from the South India anchors, I can see that from IN 36 we have received one hop. Then from IN 38, these are the trace route datas, and google.com from IN 28, IN 39, Puducherry, Coimbatore IN 31, and this is the datas. Here you have options for export as CSV. It's taking a lot of time. Yeah. So this is the datas for each anchors that you can download it in CSV format, and we have JSON too. Okay. So now coming on to the DNS query. Let me run it for ifon.org. I'm selecting query type A. Let me select 178 Pune. Arnav, I will request if you have something to add for the trace route or the DNS query, you can just jump in.
Uh, okay. So, can you open the trace route
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the chat?
It's taking a lot of time. Let me open some another one. Yeah.
Just, scroll down. Uh, so, trace route in general traces the intermediate hops between one system to another. Right? So, from here we can. So, in this particular case, we are tracing the hop from Howrah to this to the IP address of iphon.org. Uh, Now, this can be done from some other softwares as well, right? So, for Linux, there is traceroute. For Windows, there is traceRT. So, why this v2.iro and why are we having this conversation at all? What happens with v2.ire.in is we don't just do the measurement from our own system. We can do this kind of measurement, this kind of trace route measurement, or Onjewel, soon should the DNS measurement as well. So we can do these kind of measurements not from just our own system, but also from other anchors, from other states. We can actually see how these routing uh, of packets is happening from different regions. So it may happen that if I am opening some website in from Kolkata and someone is opening the same website from a different location, it may happen that both of our routes are different. When we are doing trace route, both of the routes are different. So these differences in the route uh, is what we can look into, what gives us more insight of how the underlying internet and infrastructure is working.
Okay. Now moving on to the DNS query. Let me check whether that results. Okay, data is being processed. Please try after I. Okay, I will just go to the previous result that I have executed earlier. It is showing Just taking some time. So yeah. So this is the DNS query, and this is how the domain name is getting resolved to a corresponding IP addresses. The IP addresses is these, and starting from the root zone, uh, TLD zone, and the authoritative zone. First, it goes to the root zone. Arnav, it's over to you. You can just elaborate it much better.
Okay. So the last session I discussed a little bit about the hierarchy of DNS, and there are some root servers, and then a little bit is delegated to some other some TLD, and then it goes to the, let's say, google.com or www.google.com. So what usually happens when we type www.google.com, our system connects to a recursive resolver, and that recursive resolver uh, like, finds the result for www.google.com, finds the IP address. In this case, when we measure a DNS query from uh, our anchors, we are doing the entire recursion by our hand, by the anchor basically, and we are measuring the latency as well of all the intermediate servers that we may need to go to. So there, this so in the screen, what we can see is that there are the latencies for all the root servers from this particular location, from this particular anchor. Here we can see that the each root server has more takes more latency, whereas the E root server or F root server takes less latency. Right. So this gives us an insight of which root servers should a recursive resolver uh, tend to in order to resolve a query. It may happen that the recursive resolvers are probably not uh, sending the queries to these particular ones because these DNS softwares decide which root server to use by some algorithm which is hard coded basically, right? So it may take E root server once, then it may take H root server. So it is not always based on latency. It may have uh, other parameters that it depends on, but this do give us an insight on how it should be done and how it can be optimized. So this is for the root servers. If Munji just scrolls up a little bit, there is the latency for the TLD servers. Unji, can you scroll up a little bit? So here we can see again that the TLD servers that uh, TLD servers for .org. I think it is for IIFON.org. So the TLD servers for .org uh, again. So this B GTLD server takes has less latency, whereas these servers like DTLD server or HTLD server is taking more latency, right? It's showing more latency. So it may happen that there is a server near to this region for BTLD server, and HTLD server is not near, and it is probably somewhere far. So this is kind of the insights that we can get, and from this there can be decisions can be made that which servers are needed to be uh, hosted near a location, if there are some servers near the location to facilitate better internet connection, if the DNS is taking a lot of time instead of just the content that is taking a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, over to you, Anji.
Thanks, Arnav. So we will be that is the how the student enrollment will happen creating assignments, linking queries, and the student workshop activities. Okay. So first coming on to the So first coming on to the what needs to be done in the student workshop. So how the internet functions, AIORI overview, what we measure, what are the benefits of these measurements. Then we will be giving like during student workshops. Before that, we will be providing you some assignment which the faculties will create onto their portal, and if that particular student is registered under that faculty, then that student will can view that particular assignment and can link the queries. Okay, this is what needs to be done during the student workshop. So now coming on how to register the student. So for the student registration, uh, you will be asking the students for registering with as user in our v2.aiori.in. Okay, so once the student is registered as a user in our portal and logins, and then navigates once successful login, then that particular user will be redirected to the analytics dashboard. Then user will navigate to the menu profile and edit profile. Then basically we have a user role over here. Now just going back to the profile, to the application. Yeah, so edit profile. So you can see that user profile, faculty, and user. Now let me open for a normal user, the same thing. Yeah. So this particular user, Ishan, has registered himself as a user, and now he will go to the profile section. Here, edit profile section. Here you can see that he is registered as a user. Now here is the option that student enrollment program. He will tap on it, and the faculties have, I think by now, we have already provided a SPOC with you. We have already shared with you, and there you have just upgraded your profile as faculty. Okay, so for a faculty, suppose as I am a faculty, I have a number that is I13136. Okay, so what that particular student will do, that particular student may be with registration number A1234. Okay, then you will be asking to enter your faculty serial number. Like I am just putting the faculty serial number over here. Okay, I want this student to be registered under me. Student will just click on the enroll button, then enrollment request submitted to successfully to faculty. Okay, so now uh, if from that particular faculties, for faculty we have this enroll student option. If you are registered as faculty, these features will be enabled for you. And if that particular faculty navigates to this approved student window, then she can find that okay, Ishan Mukherjee with this username and email ID and student ID, yeah, faculty can manage. If he clicks on approve request, yes, approve. Okay, so you can see this particular student is registered under you. Okay, this is how the student enrollment works. And if this is from the student side, if the students will request the faculty for approval, this is from the student side. But if as a faculty, if you want that okay, I can link this user as my student, you can also put that particular user's email ID over here, student roll number or institution name over here, then you can link user as student option, then automatically that particular student will be registered. So there is a two-way for student registration in our portal. First step is that each student, whoever there is a student or a faculty, first, he needs to register as a user. Okay, then upgrade his or her profile as a faculty or a student. This is for the student registration. Now, coming to the faculty registration, as we have some questions in the chat box. So, for the faculty registrations, what we do, you have a now let me just come to this handbook, because in this handbook we have demonstrated every step. You can just go through it once you receive it, and here we have documented every steps that you can do. I'm just going over here and explaining. Yes. So for the faculty registrations, you can find, once you are registered in our portal, you can find a tag as faculty option over here. If you click on that, you can put the institution name over here and submit your request, and then you will see a pop-up like that, like this, that faculty request pending. Okay, so once our AIORI admin approves you as faculty, then you will be receiving a faculty serial number, and you will be registered as faculty in our portal. Okay. This is how the faculty and student enrollment works. Now, for a particular student, if I want to see like how many queries that particular student have executed, or what is the point utilization for that particular student, then I can check it from here, and this is the option. Yeah, I can see that here she has run some ping, DNS query, test route, and these other things. Then for the linked queries, then the faculty can research point link queries I am coming. Then he can also remove a particular student from it. So these are the options that we have for the faculty. So now coming on to the assignment. Now, how the students will complete the assignment. What faculty will do? Faculty will just go to this create assignment section. Faculty will create an assignment name, choose a option, and then can put some remarks on it, and then can create it. I have created some just few minutes before the session itself, so I'm not creating again. So here, if I click on this, you can see that this is a very basic example activity that I have attached. That student needs to run some regular ping for any two domains, irctc.co.in or github.com, run some trace route test or run some DNS query or a periodic ping. Okay, now if I click on this view query, I can from my portal, like I am a faculty, and I can if that particular students have linked some query, then I can also see that what is the query is being linked with this particular assignment. Now, how is that particular student doing linking this query? Okay, now I will go to a student's profile. So here for the student's profile, you can see that there are two extra options. That is, one is assignment and one is linked queries. Okay, so assignment, if I go to here, yeah, so this here the list of all assignment created by faculty Vendri Mukherjee. Okay, so if I click I'm a student, Vanch, okay, measurement activity, I am clicking on this and then I'm finding, okay, these are the comments that I need to run. So student, what he will do, he will just go to this ping and he will just run a query. Then if he runs a query, then already this is a query that that particular student will run, and then he can link that query to that particular assignment. Then suppose this is for the measurement activity 1, so he will select measurement activity. Then this all are given, the query id, ping, he don't need to write this. Okay, query type only he needs to select whether it's a regular or a periodic. Okay, if he writes regular, then if he wants to enter some remarks link, then automatically a pop-up will come, that query linked, that particular query is linked with this assignment. Okay, now if he goes to this linked query section, and if we, okay, for this measurement activity I have linked one query, that is, this is the query id, and if I want to say it from here, yes, this is the query. So this is how the students will run and link the query and make the query public. Okay, so these are the three options, three requirements that the students need to do in the student workshop in our portal, when well they will be firing some queries and linking with the assignment. Okay, so that is how the assignment section, enroll for the faculty's assignment section works, and for the students linking queries and making it public. Next we have our mobile application, that is AIORI mobile app. You can find it on the Google Play Store. What they will need to do, they will just download this application, and there if he downloads the application like this, just going, this find it in the AIORI handbook. So, and if you feel that like if there is any problem, then we are there to help you. So now coming to the mobile application. So what this mobile application does, this mobile application, if you install it, then you can find in what network you are connected to, in which network you are connected to, what ISP you are using, what is your DNS, what is your IPv4 details, okay, IPv6 details, if it's available, and these are the things. Then we can do latency check from there. Latency check means that we can put some, suppose google.com for some domain or any domain which is pingable, and then we from our anchors we can test the latency, what it is coming throughout India. This is how mobile app works. So we will be providing a activity sheet and a Google form before the student workshop, and there all the activities will be listed. Uh, uh, so you need to just, the students need to just put the network details, what they have been getting with their college or institute network, or with the mobile network, what is the network details that they have been getting, and they need to put that on Google form. Okay, we can also ask to run some latency check for some website and test how from different locations how that particular site is reachable. What is the latency coming for that particular site? Okay, then we have what's my dns.aiori.in. So I will request Arnav or Aditya if you can jump in and can showcase the DNS in use using what's my dns.aiori.in.
Hello.
Hello, I'm audible. Arnav. Yes, Arnav, I'm audible.
Yes, you are. I think Aditya is going to present. So, uh,
Yes, yes, sure.
I don't have the permission to present.
Yes, you can request Aditya.
You can request and I'll approve it.
Aditya, you have been given the permission.
I think my screen is visible now. So,
Yes.
so this is one tool which we can use to find our uh, which DNS server is used by our device. Right now, I am using Cloudflare DNS. So if I check my DNS right now, we would see that my DNS server is Cloudflare. The DNS organization is Cloudflare, and my ISP is Alliance Broadband Services.
okay, I'll just put in some context. So, usually, what happens? A lot of us are familiar with the service called "What's My IP." Right? So we can just go to the internet and check what our what our public IP address is in the internet. Uh, so we can see what our public IP address is, or what the exit node is, what is our identity in the internet from an IP perspective. But usually we are blind to what DNS we are using. A lot of times it may happen that we are using uh, a public recursive resolver, DNS resolver like 8.8.8.8 or 1.1.1.1. A lot of time it may happen that we are using a DNS server set by the ISP. Right? There can be other scenarios as well where the ISP is setting a DNS server for us, and they are just rerouting the DNS to another public DNS server. So to cater to that problem of invisibility in the DNS layer, we have a service called www.whatsmydns.iori.in, through which we monitor what DNS service you are using, and to be more specific, what exit node the DNS query is going through. So the IP address that we see here is not the IP address, not the private DNS IP address. It is not the DNS IP address that is directly configured in your system, but the DNS queries are rerouted through this IP address publicly on the internet. So this entire service has been built in order to get some insights on one of the recent policies that have been made uh, by government of India. I think Anand sir would be the best person to give more information on that and how this service is providing us with more insights.
Yes, Arnab. So, right now, DOT has come up with some of the regulations, the rules for ISPs, which says that the DNS that the ISP is using should be located, operated, and controlled within Indian parameters. There are multiple DNS servers that have been used by the ISPs, let's say Google, Cloudflare, and others. This service will at least provide an understanding of which DNS services you are using as part of the ISP that you have taken services of. Let's say if you just go on this website and it says that this is the IP address which is being used as a recursive resolver for you, then what we will do is we will try to get a benchmarking of this particular IP address against other DNS providers as well, and also will do security resiliency check on this particular IP address, which is a DNS provider to you, and it will provide you a better security posture understanding of your from your perspective that your DNS is whether a protective DNS is DNSSEC validating DNS or not, whether it is located in India or not, and who is kind of operating this particular DNS. So this will also enhance your security understanding of your internet connection. So this is something that has come up. We have kind of taken into account some methodologies to work into this, which is an internal to this, how we are kind of locating the DNS. That's a different aspect to it, but this is something which has come up. And if you just point to this website, it will automatically sense your network and will provide you which DNS you are right now using for your DNS measurement. So this is in correlation with what the regulations are coming up. But again, it is also providing a better understanding of the security posture of your internet connection, because DNS is one of the critical aspects of your internet connection. Whenever you are searching, whenever you are kind of surfing any web portal or from any mobile, the data that any recursive resolver gets is able to have a trend of your online behavior, which actually make you a product to sell. And that's why there are big companies who are in DNS, who are giving free DNS services. This will help us to understand that how much popular is this DNS services, and the ISPs you are getting the services, how much percentage of them are kind of using those services. So the multitude of measurements that we'll get from it. But the idea only is to have much more proper security posture for yourself. One of other initiatives that we are kind of bringing in at the time of disaster scenario, uh, most of the .in websites, web portals should open, and there should not be any dependence on external DNS providers, and that to address that particular situation, this particular service will also enable us to understand which IP addresses have been used to for the DNS queries, so that if we see that there is a larger portion of IP addresses which are not kind of registered with EPNIC or IRENE, which is registered in other RIRs, then automatically there should be something that need to be done, because there are situations we are mostly dependent on our online services for any kind of services that we need, whether it is healthcare services, railways, transportation, or any kind of services. And the dependence will kind of be larger and larger to a very different extent whenever we are talking about Internet of Senses, ubiquitous internet, quantum internet. Then definitely DNS is something which is a critical aspects to it, and this kind of thing need to be taken care of to understand that how your DNS is behaving and which all services are kind of hosted in India, which services are not hosted in India, and at the time of disaster, what will be the circumstances, and we can be ready for any kind of disaster in future scenarios. Over to you, Arnav.
So the reason why this what's my DNS has been shown in this FDP is because one of the assignment is on this what's my DNS, and that is to measure what DNS service is being used by, and that is to differentiate what different DNS services are being used by different networks. So I think Oindri has already given a little insight on uh, the kind of assignment that will be shared. So this what's my dns.iori.in will help understand help provide a global understanding of where the current DNS infrastructure of India stands. This also gives us insight on how much DNS queries, as Sir just said, how much DNS queries is going outside of India, and even if we don't want it to go outside India, we need to quantify it first, right? That okay, there is this much DNS query that is going outside India. So this is what this what's my DNS.iori.in is trying to cater to. With that, I think we are almost out of time right now. It's already nice, so I think we're in a good position to open the Q&A and to try to wrap it up.
We already have few questions in the chat box. Can we share handbook with the students? Yes, you can share the handbook with the students. Is there any WhatsApp group of AIORI? You can add me in that group. Srijit, you are there to answer this. Please share the material. Yes, we will be sharing. Next, any other questions?
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you are.
I just want a small clarity over here. There are several participants are recording the minutes through some third-party AI tool. And was it advised from the team?
No, that is not advised.
The problem why I am asking over here is because of this, the same individual's recordings or this minutes is being shared in our registered mail. So after every session, last time I have attended, I got some for 30-40 emails. And subsequently, it's asking for whoever is commenting, connecting, that loop is continued and you're getting continuous email on that. So maybe
Exactly, it is on Otter, I think. It's on Otter.
yeah, it is from Otter. So that
Okay.
probably next time when you are conducting, please take care of that, sir.
Thank you, Gokula Priya. We note that, and we will, though it was not intended.
Yeah, I understood. That might not be their participants' side problem also, but that's an issue with that tool. So probably they can avoid using that tool while attending this session at least.
That makes perfect sense. So we will enforce that.
Yeah. Thank you for considering that request.
And how did you like today's session?
Yeah, it's good. We have been in this last year also. We were there, and our students are also part of this. So we wanted to be into this journey and do our contribution towards to the benefits of the society and being into this community.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? If not,
Yeah,
then
Sushant here. Yeah, Sushant here. Yeah, I think it was very, I like that, the way it was explained and, narrated. It really is a good work. I must appreciate that.
thank you, Sushantula. So just before we disengage,
sir, one more.
Yes, Doctor. Please.
Sir, I want to know, while setting up the device in our network, example in our college, while fixing this, is it possible to access what are all the systems connected with that particular network? Is it possible to check those systems, what kind of traffic, what kind of website they are accessing, those kind of information with that system?
No.
That information will be available publicly or not?
No.
Anupam, can I answer this question?
Yes, you can. Please go ahead.
Okay, so this is an active measurement anchor. So anything that is being measured is through the commands which are kind of run by the users. We are not storing any passive information, that is anything that is going on your interface. So it is completely an active measurement platform. So we will not be kind of storing anything like anyone has kind of accessed any websites or anything that happened on that interface. Thank you.
Sir, to add on that, what ma'am requested, you will be capturing the IP of that network on that when
Yes,
the
the
device is
exit node.
attached.
Two things that will happen is whenever you will host this in your network, it will be through DHCP. It will take that IP address which is there in your network. It will connect through a VPN. What we will get is the exit node IP address of your.
You should definitely let your network administrator know that you are putting such a device. You can also, if there are any questions from your network administrator, you can also direct that questions to us. But at the top of the conversation is that please let your organization know that this is an active measurement device and it only connects with the AIORI node. Okay, so it is whitelisted device with the AIORI network, so it doesn't communicate with any other thing. So it is a dedicated channel through which this communication occurs. So even if you don't take permission, you are not risking your own network, but it is always advisable that you let your organization know it and then only put it into your network.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, definitely we will get some permission from our college or from our management. The thing is, if you fix that device, suppose we are in a position to explain what kind of activities, that is active measurement you are telling. I understood that.
Right.
But what kind of website we are searching within the network, all kind of information will be shared. Anyone can give ping command, right? So they will get all the informations related to that particular network, correct?
That's correct.
So whatever we are searching within the organization, that will be
No,
shared by.
no, whatever. Can I correct, ma'am? Can I come in again? So, whatever.
Sir,
See,
suppose in our.
it is like this, that you go to mm, a railway platform and you buy a ticket. So the
Okay.
railway platform counter only gives you a railway ticket. It can't issue you a aircraft ticket, or it can't issue you a ticket related to a ship or something. Okay. So while there is a ticket counter at a railway station, it can issue only tickets related to railways. Okay. It is like this only. So this device is only for measurement, and it can only measure, and it will only measure when you give a command to measure. That's it. That is the job of it. Now, whatever response you get, you need to use it for research purpose. You can analyze it. You can create policy decisions. You can work on to improve your network. All that is fine. But we are not monitoring your network, so we will not be able to, this device will not give you any information with respect to your network, because it doesn't work that way. It is not configured to work that way.
Okay, that means all whatever, that's what google.com, if I am giving ping command to that particular anchor, that means I can understand how much they are using, at what time they are using that particular website, correct?
No. What you are getting is that what is the time taken by google.com to open at your location. Okay. Whether it
Okay.
is 30 millisecond or 60 millisecond or 100 millisecond or 2000 millisecond, that is the information which you can get. You can get that what is the buffering time for Zoom. You can get what is the jitter time for Netflix. Kind of information which is related to the performance and the quality of the internet is what you will get. Apart from that, you will not get anything.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So
Understood.
I'll just add one thing over here, so that it should be clarified to her, that anything that you will perform a measurement using this portal only. Let's say if you run a command on Google using this portal, that is something that will be measured. It's not that someone has kind of done a query to Google or any other website and you have a device, then it will automatically measure the latency or kind of anything that is going in that particular traffic. It is only through this portal. Whenever you are logging in, you are firing a command using this portal, then only it is activating and doing it, and then automatically it goes to sleep. So there is nothing that if there is anything happening on your network, any user is typing anything or anything, it is kind of coming in between, man in middle. It is something like a PC in your system which is sleeping. It only be activated through that portal. Whenever anybody like Henry has created some commands over there, it will only be activated through that command, and then it will go to sleep. So this is something that's how this anchor network is working. So rest assured that this network is not behaving like a man in middle which will sniff some packets. It is just something which will be activated only and only when it is activated through a user, and we have all the logs that whoever has kind of run a measurement command using that particular anchor. And we have taken due diligence so that nobody can do any DDoS attack using this anchor. There are lots of things that are going through this design philosophy. So this is how this is working. So it is a very closed environment where the measurements that is only getting fired from it, you get the results for that only. Thank you. Over to you, Anupam.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Understood.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, I would like to adjourn the meeting for today. And just to remind that Ministry of Electronics representative will be joining on Friday evening. So if you want to have any kind of conversation, questions, comments, please feel free to join on Friday, same time, 7:30 p.m. And once this training session is over, after Friday, we will get in touch with all of you to understand that when are you trying to organize the workshop. We will handhold each one of you to conduct the workshop at your location. We will try to support 100% in terms of that your workshop is a success at your place. So thank you once again for joining this session today, and looking forward to see each one of you on Friday again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना।